Ekasi Esports Podcast, episode 7. Hey, what's up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the Ekasi Esports Podcast. I am your host, Perfect. And as usual, I do not walk alone. I'm with my main man. I'm with my main man, Jude. What's up, Judo?
I'm all good, thanks. How you doing, man?
I would say I'm good, but that's a lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie, man.
Can you imagine, dude?
Escom,
I'm guessing, yeah. I was about to guess it's Escom.
Escom has been the pits, honestly.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, just changing from stage 2 to stage 4 on like a whim. I'm just like, okay, I'm planning on my day for stage 2 load shedding. And then all of a sudden, you get notified that you're going to stage 4. But generally speaking, whenever we see that notification, we assume that okay, I'm having load shedding in like an hour because that's generally where you get notification.
Yeah, they give you notification an hour before or a couple of minutes before you even get time to prep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I just mised the text, but just to find out that I was moved up to stage 4. I'm just like, ha.
And if you're anything like me, right, you probably like wake up in the morning, you check your schedule, and you see, okay, I got load shedding probably at like maybe 6 till 7:30, and then you plan your day around that, right? So, most of the time, what I do, I just check my schedule and forget about it, and then but subconsciously, I have that thought that okay, at this time, I'm not gonna have any electricity, so I better prepare for that time. So I don't check, and the thing is, I'm most of the time in front of my PC working, so I don't check my phone as often during the day. So if the notification comes in saying that we've been elevated to stage 4, and it has happened a couple of times where we've been elevated to another stage, while I'm doing my work,
power just cuts,
and I'm like, what the hell? And I started raging. I'm like, what? Why? Escom, you said 6:30. It's 2.
Bloody Escom.
It's 2. And then I check my notifications, like,
It'd be like that, dude, honestly.
So you see, that's why I've not been good. But besides the whole electricity situation, I've been okay. Okay. It has ruined a couple of days for me over the weekend, but hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But anyways, let's jump into the episode. But anyways, this is the Ekasi Esports Podcast. This is where me and Jude get to talk about topics around gaming, esports, and tech. Basically, you guys will get to hear me and Jude talk about some geeky stuff for the next couple of minutes.
And disclaimer, we just give our 2 cents on it. We do our research and we make sure that what we say to you guys is factual and, we're not taking it from somewhere. But we are not experts on this. We just, again, give our 2 cents on this.
Yeah, we just give our 2 cents. And hopefully, because we want this to be educational. Like Jude said, we make sure to do our research to make sure that some of the things that we're saying are factual. And, like I said, this should be educational and as well as it should be entertaining to you guys. And also engage with us. Comment. Let's have the conversation. Like the video. Help us with the algorithm, people. Help us with the algorithm. Subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you guys can be notified when we drop another episode of the podcast, and also when we drop other types of content. One thing I know is that over the weekend we've been dropping different types of content on the channel. We've been running the Fire SSA Anniversary Tournament, which we are hosting to celebrate 1 year since the launch of the sub-Saharan African servers for Free Fire. Yeah. So shout out to Garena for that. If you guys would like to catch those games and check out the streams, you can check them out here on our YouTube channel. But for today, we have the Ekasi Esports Podcast.
Yes.
7 episodes in, man.
Yeah, episode 7, man. It's, dude, like just yesterday I was thinking, well, not yesterday, of course, but it was a while ago we were thinking, yo, man, let's have this podcast. And here we are now.
7 episodes
7
deep.
episodes later. Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes. But anyways, let's get into the meat of the podcast of today's episode. There's a couple of things I'd like for us to talk about. There's been crazy things happening lately. If you guys haven't been keeping up with the news, there's been a lot of crazy things happening lately. There've been truck heists happening lately.
GTA in real life, man.
GTA in real life. But instead of selling money or some other valuable item like that, GPUs have been have been like being stolen now. Like there are heist plan for GPUs these days.
Oh man, what has the world come to? I know the chip shortage is bad, but jeez, man,
That's
I
bad.
didn't think it'd escalate to this point.
Mhm. Oh yeah, and
You
by the way,
know?
for y'all, okay, maybe this is a no-brainer, but I'm just making sure that the other viewers also know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Graphics cards. So basically, last week, right, there was a truck traveling from South California all the way to San Francisco, transporting graphics cards. So graphics cards are basically the components found in a PC responsible for rendering, the graphics on your computers. They're basically dedicated processors for graphics.
Yeah.
And they've become a very essential part of today's builds, as the graphics within games have improved, as well as videos like it, because they're also used for video editing software and image editing and all that. So a lot of those softwares are getting heavier and heavier, and there's a demand for more like stronger
Yeah, stronger
hardware.
chip, stronger hardware, and each and every year, well, each and every 2 years, around
Mhm.
about there, AMD and Nvidia release new graphics cards, and they become more powerful. They have
Mm,
better rendering, well, lower rendering times. So
mm. Yeah.
it's always on that wish list for the PC enthusiast or even just the
Mm.
average gamer.
Yeah, yeah. And but at the same time, we've been having a shortage of graphics cards in the market lately. And there's a couple of factors which have led to this. One of
Yeah.
them is the chip shortage that you mentioned. There's now a chip, and for those who don't know, there's a global chip shortage that we are going through at the moment. Basically, we're running the amount of semiconductors, which are the chips which we're talking about. They're in short supply. There's a high demand for them, but there's a low supply. And I never did economics in high school, right? I did EMS before grade 10. Right? I did
Yeah,
EMS,
basically the same thing.
economic management sciences, right? And I don't remember much from those classes, but one thing I do remember in one of those classes is if demand is high and supply is low, the price goes up.
Prices will go up. Yeah,
Yeah, and
definitely.
the vice versa is true, right?
Yeah.
And since graphic cards and are in short supply and there's a high demand for them, then what's this? The
The
price
prices will
is
just
is up.
skyrocket.
The
I
price
think
is up.
the highest recorded price increase was
Mhm.
256% on top of the
Sheesh.
MSRP. So it's the regular price plus 250% of that price.
Wow, that's like what, a three and a half times higher.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah, right about there.
that's crazy. So if I was budgeting for a graphics card that I saw last year, so you're telling me that now? Yeah, okay, well, yeah, we know. Like the
Yeah,
highest it could have went to is like what, 15K or 17K.
somewhere around there.
You
Yeah,
know, so it's bad. It's bad. But yeah, basically we want a shortage, and like I mentioned, the global chip shortage has caused also less it has caused supply for GPUs to also be short.
and this
Um,
isn't only GPUs. This is phone manufacturers as well.
yeah.
PlayStation, Xbox, basically everything that requires semiconductors
Mm.
is facing a crisis now. Even
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah, even cars. Basically, almost every electronic device nowadays uses these chips, right?
Yeah,
From your fridges, your microwave to like you said, like the laptops, your phones, your PlayStations, your Xboxes, and let's also not mention the military
yeah,
technology also uses those semiconductors. Transportation, like planes, cars, everything in society.
basically uses
Basically,
it. Yeah,
yeah, basically those chips are the ones that are powering the world right now. So
yeah,
if there's a short supply for them, we are in trouble if this thing continues for the next couple of years. we
yeah,
we should prepare to see a hike up in prices of these electronic devices and stuff like that. And we've seen that
yeah,
in GPUs, which is what we're talking about right now, that the
yeah.
prices have just skyrocketed lately. And
Basically, yeah.
yeah, and like demand is not decreasing at all.
It's not. It's only getting higher.
It's only getting higher. And at first, the demand was only, the market that was demanding these graphics cards was the PC enthusiasts and the PC gamers. And usually
Yeah,
the PC gamers are also PC enthusiasts most of the time. So, they're like the same group of
it was a
people.
stable market. There was basically a stable market. Stable
Mm,
supply, stable demand, and
mm.
everything was fine, perfect actually.
Yeah.
No
Touche.
pun intended.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Until,
So
yeah.
So until the GPU shortage and everything, and then there was the crypto mining. Cryptocurrencies have just like shot up in price. All of your cryptocurrencies have just become so much more of a valuable investment for some people. So they
Yeah.
started just stockpiling graphics cards, and you see these farms filled with graphics cards. And these are just like mining farms where people just be like, "Hey, I'm doing this as a business."
Yeah.
And at the same time, AMD and Nvidia will be like, "Yo, as long as you get the money, that's all that matters." But I'll give Nvidia, props for this. They introduced a hash rate limiter. Hash rate is how fast the cryptocurrencies can be mined, basically.
Yeah,
This
just
is
to
like
dumb
a
it down, just to dumb it down, really. Yeah.
They introduced a hash rate limiter. They even introduced cards specific for mining.
Yeah.
But people are still buying graphics cards,
Yeah.
that we need.
Yeah.
I
That we
need, like,
need.
I remember when Nvidia did the Ampere showcase. So this is basically the 30 series. 30,000, well, few thousand series of graphics cards, and I was so excited. I'm like, "Yo, I'm getting me a 3080. I am getting me
Yeah.
a 3080." And then the shortage happened, and I was like, "Eish."
Yeah, it really sucks. I mean, it really sucks because even after Nvidia employed this hash rate limiter, these crypto miners have found a way to work around
Yeah.
to work around the hash rate limiter. And like you said, another factor that has contributed to the shortage are these crypto miners who are hogging these graphics cards. Because for y'all who don't know, graphics cards are an essential component when mining crypto, especially specifically for GPU miners. Because there's specific rigs that you can build for mining crypto, and one of those specific rigs are GPU mining rigs. And those things, they don't just take one graphics card. They don't just take one. These people, hey, they load those things with graphics cards. Like, let me just like show you a picture, like off a rig.
Like, it can share one PCIe slot with like 3 graphics cards or something, dude.
Look at this one here. This one has like 12 graphics cards on. You see what I mean?
That's 2 systems. Well, 2 motherboards and 6 graphics cards. So
yeah, 6 graphics cards per system. But like, this person bought 12 graphics cards. So the meaning that 11 less people lost out on graphics cards.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
So basically, there's 11 less gamers in the world right now.
So basically, these guys are the equivalent to those people during COVID. Remember when COVID was like a bit like cray last year?
Yeah.
And people were stockpiling, were stocking on tissues.
Yeah.
Like, basically, you'd go to the store just to get a pack of tissues, or maybe even just one lot of tissue, depending on what time of the month it was.
It was difficult to find tissue, man. One time I walked into a store and I saw empty shelves. I was like, "Ha!
What happened to all the tissues,
dude?
Who is poo-pooing? Who's going to the toilet this much? You see a person with a trolley full of tissues, and you're like, bro, what diarrhea do you have? What diarrhea do you have? Like, sheesh. You need to see a doctor at this point. Tissues won't help. You need help.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so basically these crypto miners, they be stalking on the graphics cards. So now the market is now full of them. So when graphics cards get dropped and released, they are one of the people who are ready to snipe those graphics cards. And obviously with this rise in demand,
and the low supply,
the prices have hiked up, and other people, and this has added another player within the market. The scalpers. I mean, scalpers have been here for him. They've been already present within the GPU market, right? But now I feel like they're just like they're worse now because they're now buying all the graphics cards to sell them. And for those who don't know, scalpers are basically these people who buy a certain product, which is like if a product is in short supply, they buy their product and stock up on it and then sell it for a higher price later on.
Yeah.
And we've seen that with the PlayStations, for example, the PlayStation 5s. PlayStation 5s, not many of them have been made, and there's also a short supply of PlayStation 5s, right? For also a number of reasons.
Yeah, for other reasons as well. And people are just, hoarding these PlayStation 5s and selling them for absurd prices on, eBay and
Exactly.
other sites like that. So
Exactly. And
yeah,
it sucks. It sucks for other people who just want to, just trying to get a PlayStation, and also for us who are trying to get graphics cards, because now it's either I buy it from that scalper, or I try my luck and go to that store. But it's either I'll find it out of stock, or I'll just find it at an absurd price. Well,
yeah. Or you'll find a long line of people waiting.
you see, I'll be a part of the wait list.
Yeah.
But all these factors that we've just been mentioning, right, like for the past couple of minutes, they've added up to, they've caused the price of graphics cards to just like skyrocket over the
Yeah.
past couple of months,
Mhm.
and we're not the only ones who've been noticing that. These people who are doing these heists now on on these trucks transporting GPUs have noticed that, and they're taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
So it's getting crazy. We're now living in at a crazy time where such crimes are committed, just to steal some graphics
And
cards.
mind you, it's not good. It really isn't,
Yeah.
the way forward. And we are not advocating this type of practice.
Yeah. No, we definitely
Definitely
not,
not.
because we are the ones suffering at the end of the day. It's
Yeah,
like,
because there's less graphics cards going out to people who actually,
mm,
will use them for
yeah.
what they intended to be used for,
Mm. And
not
and
mining or anything.
and those people who are like, okay, maybe the why graphics cards? If you still don't understand why, um, I'm on an article. I'm on the page here, of where I read the article about this entire heist. So basically, they say that the graphics cards which are being transported, right, the
Yeah.
prices range from $329.99 all the way up to $1,959 dollars per card.
Jeez.
Per
Jeez, per
card.
card, dude.
So if they're transporting maybe a good 50 to 100 cards in that truck, that was a good steal. Honestly,
Yeah.
hey, that was hey, they banged, hey, they banged up there, dog.
Yeah, they
Like,
did.
you know, and they'll obviously take these cards and sell them
Yeah.
in
But
in the black market.
yeah, but EVGA and Nvidia have since then removed the warranty off the card. So, if something happens to the card, yeah,
Mm.
you're kind of screwed.
Yeah. So if you basically if you buy one of those stolen cards, then you're screwed.
Yeah.
So yeah. So just as a warning for y'all, if you find a 3090 somewhere out here, going for a very very low price, just
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably
If
one of
it's
them
too good to
stolen.
be true.
Yeah, if it's too good to be true, it's probably one of those stolen cards, right? But
Yeah.
I don't think they'll sell them to regular consumers. They'll probably sell them to crypto miners, because those are the guys who are like fiending for them as much,
Yeah.
because they know that they're gonna buy in bulk.
Yeah.
But man, it's a weird time we live in. It's
It's
a
a
weird
weird time
time.
we live in, but not for CPUs.
Oh yeah, it's a
Not for
great time for
CPUs.
CPUs,
Yeah, it's a really great
specifically
time for CPUs.
specifically for Intel.
Yeah, the competition is back up. For a
Mm.
couple of years, it was AMD this, AMD that. Now
Yeah.
it's Intel. AMD who? Dude.
Mhm. But I mean, I wouldn't count Ryzen out. I mean, they still. I mean, they're about to respond with their own new CPU. So
Mhm.
let's give this time. Let's see how
Yeah,
it, how
yeah,
it plays out. But for now, let's talk about Intel's new 12th gen CPUs, which have been causing.
a
Has
lot.
been causing a stir,
Yeah,
within the PC enthusiast world, because now these things are, in terms of performance, these things are insanely good. Like
just out of the park good.
this.
Like,
Mhm,
if you compare benchmarks of
mhm,
previous, like the 11th gen Intel CPUs,
yeah,
you'd see the difference is like night and day.
bro.
the
Like,
the s- some of the performance differences can
mhm,
range up to 100%, like a hundred
mhm,
percent difference from the
mhm.
previous generation, and that is just like astonishing. I don't understand how Intel did
Yeah,
that after 14 nanometer plus plus plus
yeah.
plus 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 plus.
And this is the biggest jump they've made in a
Yeah.
while, honestly, in terms of performance. And
Mhm.
and this is the first time they've actually beat Ryzen in benchmarks. Because
Yeah.
Ryzen has, like you said, Ryzen has always been, leaving Intel in the dust. Okay, not in the
Mhm.
dust, but Intel has just been the guy always in second place. But
Yeah.
now Intel decided to be like, nah. No, we want
We
that
are
crown
tired.
back. We want
We
that
are
crown
tired.
back. You know,
Yeah.
and part of the reason why these Intel CPUs are like so good is because Intel decides to switch up their CPU architecture.
Mhm.
Right? They've
They're going to
introduced.
a 10 nm super fin, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
they've also introduced E cores and P cores.
Mhm.
Basically, P cores are their performance cores. Those are the ones that run on high clock speeds, and then your E cores are the ones which run on lower clock speeds for the lighter workloads. For the
Yeah, for
lighter
the
work,
less intensive
for the
workloads. Yeah, less
yeah,
intensive workloads.
yeah. Because traditionally CPUs, like they used to have just like high performance cores within them, and then
Mhm.
once they're all running, then they just like dumb them down. They for lighter work. But now you have this model where you have cores dedicated for heavy lifting, and you have cores other like the E cores dedicated for the light stuff.
Yeah,
And we see this
and
in the benchmarks. We see this in the benchmarks.
it also helps with the power, like the power efficiency. So
Mm.
at idle, you wouldn't see as much power draw as you would,
Mhm.
against competitors.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
at the same time, this thing it does chow power, especially the
yeah,
i9 1200 12900K,
yeah.
right? That thing does chow power. I mean, it does heat up. It's like a furnace, right?
It's
Um,
like an inferno, man.
but looking
You
at
know,
the Mhm.
no, carry on,
Yeah.
carry on.
No, you go ahead. Ladies first. Ladies first.
Okay.
Yes.
But just thinking about how hot that thing gets, you
Hmm.
just think, okay, what am I gonna need to cool this now? Because if last gen wasn't bad, this is horrendously bad. Because I think the peak power draw some people have reported was like over 400 watts.
Bro.
400 watts on a CPU, man.
Imagine, and it's a whole power supply. What's is right
Not
there?
not not even a graphics card takes as much power as that did. Some graphics cards they don't even take that much. That's some.
Mm.
Forget about the 3080 or the 3090.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it gets pretty hard. So hence why I'm saying, like, after looking at the benchmarks, right? So you guys can check these benchmarks out. I'm pretty sure if you type in 12 Intel 12th gen benchmarks, you'll find them. Especially check out the Linus Tech Tips channel. He did
Mhm.
like a great tests on those CPUs. But looking at the benchmarks and also just like performance, like the performance to power ratio and all that,
Mhm.
and also the power draws and everything. I feel like if I had to buy the latest 12th gen CPUs, I think I would probably go for the i5 12600K,
Yeah.
because I feel like that one, in terms of like power draw, and also the temperatures, and also like the performance, it is pretty good. It is very, very good.
Yeah, it actually makes sense. Like as you said, performance wise,
Mm,
power draw wise, and heat wise,
mm,
um, your CPU will last longer than the other ones, of course, because they
mm,
don't heat up as much,
mm.
and it draw less power, so that's less money spent on electricity for you,
Yeah.
and they outperform the competition in every or almost every aspect. There are
Mm,
some outliers here and there.
mm,
So honestly speaking, budget wise, well, not budget, price wise, and
mm.
performance wise, it is honestly the king.
Yeah, yeah, diff. But at the same time, we've been raving about how good these CPUs are, right?
Hmm.
But at the same time, it's time, we always have to come in with the bad news.
Yeah,
We always have to
there's always good news and some
come.
bad
We
news.
always start with the good stuff, because you have to be positive, first, and then we talk about
We
the bad
come in
stuff.
positive, we come in bright, and then we like, yo.
Okay, yeah, yeah, now
So
you're being too bright.
yeah.
You want me to turn down the lights? So apparently there's been some issues. So there's an error. There's an incompatibility. Like there's a digital rights incompatibility with the CPUs. So apparently, it's been reported that the new 12th gen CPUs by Intel have an incompatibility with the Windows digital rights to some games, meaning that, like, just to dumb it down, you won't be able to run certain games if you have an Intel 12th gen CPU
Option
within your
CPU.
system. Within your system.
And some of these games are, well, not too old, but
Let me
fairly
see.
fairly new, fairly
Let
new.
me see if I can
So
pull up that article. I had it here open on a tab. Yeah, yeah. So yeah. So if you go onto the Intel website, we'll link down this page in the description below. But basically, these are the list of games. We have Anthem in here. We
does
have
anyone really play Anthem though?
okay. We have Mortal Kombat 11 here. We
Assassin's Creed
have
Valhalla.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We have Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, the remastered edition, which is also another old game. Like that was released like 2010. Like the weird thing about this list is that it's not like it's the latest games only that you see here. You see the newest games and you also see the oldest games.
Some old games.
Some old games here, right? So meaning that I'm not sure, but maybe this list could be bigger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. Maybe there's other games they didn't pick up along the way.
Didn't, yeah, exactly. And you know, Intel have said that they're gonna work with some of the DRM and the
rights holders in it, yeah.
The rights holders, yeah, to fix these issues with certain games, and you know, hopefully, if they find some games that you know they haven't picked up on yet, they're able to fix those as well. Because you know, just imagine saying, "Okay, we fixed every game." Boom, another game comes out, and it's incompatible. You know.
But I think going forward, they're obviously gonna like fix that, especially these developers as well, because apparently the reason why for this issue or this incompatibility is because these games, when they read when they check the CPU basically, they see two different architectures. Like we mentioned, there's the E cores and there's the P cores, right? Yeah. So now they're like, okay, it feels like there's two different systems here. So now there's now an incompatibility. So the workaround to to basically get your game running, which is part of the list here, is to go into your BIOS settings and disabling your E cores. So you'll just be using your P cores. But the problem with that, obviously, you'll be sacrificing performance.
Yeah, you will be sacrificing performance because instead of having for example, with the 12700K, I think you'd have about is it the 12700K or the 12900K?
Which one, the i9?
Yeah, the i9.
Yeah, 12900K.
So instead of having like 20 threads, what am I saying? Yeah, 12 cores and 20 threads.
Yeah.
Did okay. Basically, you'd have a CPU with 8 cores, and then you'd have like 6 threads, and then you'd have like another 2 cores, and those would like add onto the cores. They wouldn't become more threads per se. So like with conventional Intel CPUs, you'd have hyper threading. So 8 cores, 16 threads. Now with these, you'd have 8 cores. 2 of them, 6 of them will be P cores, 2 will be E cores. So you'd have the 6 have 12 threads, and the other 2 will not have threading. So basically, you turn off the E cores in your BIOS, and then you just have the
less threads and less cores.
The less threads and less cores. Basically,
in a nutshell, in a nutshell, you're sacrificing a lot of performance.
Yeah.
I'm also trying to keep up. And I'm like, okay, but yeah,
I was just going around and around. Sorry about that.
No problem. But yeah, also this list is also dependent on what operating system you use. So for Windows 11, it has been claimed that there's certain games part of this list will receive a patch. There's going to be a patch coming out which is going to allow some of these games to to run on these 12th gen cores or on these 12th gen CPUs. But if you're on Windows 10, they didn't say anything about that. So yeah, if you're gonna stick to Windows 10 and you're using the 12th gen CPUs, expect some of the games. Yeah, expect some of the games which are part of this list to not work. So those are strong. Those are strong. Yeah. But man, I mean, when things just got good for Intel, then this happens.
It's like you bring me up just to let me down. Like why show me all these performance benchmarks just to show me games that I will not be able to play with a good CPU,
But I mean, if you're always working, I mean, there's no problem with that. If you're working, then you're gonna have a great time. But if you also want to play games, just make sure that the games you're playing are not part of the list. And if they are, be patient. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know. Maybe hold off upgrading for a minute. We'll see.
So hopefully they fix this soon for all the people that are planning to upgrade right now.
Yeah, because this, like, I mean, AMD had an issue with the Windows 11 also a while ago. A patch has come out, obviously, to resolve this issue. And since then, I haven't upgraded to Windows 11 yet because I'm still skeptical about upgrading. But But yeah, I mean, there's just been issues with it's just been issues upon issues lately. I mean, we've been seeing great performance, and but like there's
Issues that
some
come with the great performance.
you can't
So
you can't have it all. You can't have it all.
can have
Um,
everything.
something but something that doesn't have issues, right?
hmm
Is Apex Legends Season 11.
Season 11. Yeah, before Ash came out, I
Yeah.
honestly thought that she'd be OP.
Mhm.
No, like I'll just be seeing comments on Twitter, nerf Ash, but she died.
I mean, there have been already talks about like pros have cried about her and they're asking her to be nerfed, right? But those are like the top level players. Personally, like after playing season 11, and also playing around with Ash as well, who is the new legend within Apex Legends, she's okay.
Yeah,
She's
you
not
really.
OP. I personally, I don't think she's OP. I mean, she does have dope abilities. Don't get it twisted, right? I really like her passive is cool. It's good to know. Oh, okay, someone was here a minute ago. Okay, cool, right?
Yeah.
Her tactical is also nice. Like when throw it to someone.
So yeah,
The
throw
thing
like
is,
the shuriken thing.
but I also feel like it's balanced because because I feel like it's a powerful tactical because I mean what it does damage, then it does like about 10 points of damage,
Yeah, 10
and it
points.
and it also restricts, it stuns players for a minute because like it holds them from, it stops them
Yeah.
from
I
moving
mean,
away.
they can move in a certain radius, but they won't
Yeah,
move away from,
yeah.
the tactical as long as it's still active. So yeah.
Yeah, but and people might think that's a bit crazy, but the thing is, as Ash is throwing that towards you, it takes a minute to get to you. It
Yeah,
takes a
so you can
minute.
just look at
It's
it and be like,
slow, so you have time to duck to move away, right? So I feel like that's what makes it balanced. And
Yeah, and I also read in this one article that
mm,
to put it in less harsh terms, one pro
mhm.
called Ash dog. Like she was really bad. He
Mhm.
tried using her, he tried playing with her. It was like, nah, man, I
Hence what
can't
I'm
deal with
saying.
this.
Hence what I'm saying. She's not as OP as Horizon when she came out. She's
Yeah.
not as OP as Seer when
Sia
he
when
came out.
he came out,
You
like
know,
Sia was our problem.
she's Ash is pretty much balanced. I mean, I still see the value of having her in your team. I mean, the rotations are nice, especially with the ultimate. The fact that you can
Mhm.
like put away, like instantly. It
It's a
just
one
makes
way
it.
trip though.
But it's a one way trip, and I feel like that's another balance to her ultimate.
Yeah.
Because if it was back and forth, I feel like that's going to be a bit too much. But like
No, it was just gonna render Wraith kinda, obsolete.
yeah, exactly. Because now I just have a better portal. I just have a
Imagine.
better portal,
And it's
but
instant. And you
and
can
it's
do it in
instant.
the air. You can
Exactly. You can like
dude
you know
in the air.
without having to climb because with the wraith portal you have to like run
Move
and then
around and stuff,
you
yeah.
choose your start point and choose your end point. But then
I mean
with
you have to do it with Ash as well, but
mm,
it's more direct.
yeah, it's more direct because like you choose approximately where you want to land.
Yeah.
So you have a bit more you're a bit more flexible like that. And so I
Yeah.
compare her ultimate to Loba's tactical, where it's
Yeah,
like
because yeah.
it's like a bracelet, but then it's just more instant, right?
Instantaneous, yeah. It's
Yeah.
because,
So those are my thoughts around Ash.
slash
She's
go.
cool.
Yeah.
She's cool. She's a cool character. I like
Mhm.
her, right? But I'm still gonna stick
Yeah.
to my main. I'm still gonna stick to my Bangalore.
You love Bangalore way too much, man.
Hey man, hey, ride or die, man. I'm a ride or die type of guy. I hope y'all ladies are listening. I'm a ride or die type of guy.
I mean, I'm still enjoying Sia, so not
Oh,
changing anytime soon.
okay. Hey, fair enough, fair enough. But also
Yeah.
another thing that also came with season 11 is the new map.
The new map. And we've been playing on it for some
Since
time.
release, since release.
Yeah, since
Mhm,
release actually. We've been playing
mhm.
constantly since release.
I mean, before
Um
shooting this episode, we were playing a couple of games.
yeah. Yeah, we played a
Yeah.
couple of games and that map is big. I'm just gonna say it
It's
out
yeah,
flat. It
it's
is
big.
a big map. And I
It's
can understand why Respawn decided to go with the large map
hmm
layout.
hmm
Because they said that it's to prevent third parties from
mm.
taking place and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
as I live and breathe, we were playing a game and we got third party, even fourth party. There was literally four people, well,
Mhm.
four teams, sorry, four teams around us.
Yeah.
Once when we were fighting this one squad, and of course we died.
Mhm.
So
But I mean, the third parties are not as bad as
yeah, yeah, yeah.
World's Edge or
They're not as bad because
Olympus.
you fight you're fighting one team, two
Mhm.
seconds, 2 seconds later, a team comes around the corner and says like,
And
"Hello."
yeah, I mean, the map is big, right? And one thing I found myself doing, I feel like the loadout, like I feel like sniper rifles might be meta on this map
Mhm.
because like you said, it's a big map,
Mhm.
right? It's a big map, and I found myself fighting snipers almost all
I
the
finally hit
time.
my cable shots.
You finally getting your crazy shots,
I finally hitting my cable shots, man. You see,
but
like
mhm,
the map size, right? The map size, it really does help with snipers and
mhm,
all that type of stuff. So I'm really appreciative of the size that they're implementing
mhm,
on the
on the map. Yeah.
the map. Yeah, on the map. I'm still
Yeah. And there's not much cover as well. I mean there
yeah.
is like natural terrain, like the rocks that you can hide behind behind
Yeah,
what
yeah,
am I
behind
saying?
to prevent.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
get cover. And like there's a bunch of natural terrain that you can use for cover. And the thing is, if you don't have a movement character, because I feel like this map is good for movement
mainly targeted
characters,
toward movement characters. Yeah,
the
because
movement legends.
there's a lot of rocks exfoliation,
Mm.
and
There's a lot of
this
running
this
around that you have to do.
yeah, there's a lot of running around, and I feel like this map was tailor made for Pathfinder.
Oh, right. Exactly.
For
I've been picking up
Pathfinder, dude.
Pathfinder a bit more often, as well as
Remember,
Octane. Because
remember how you got slapped when you're trying to fight a Pathfinder, and he just kept
he just kept,
climbing up the roof, and you couldn't get
and he was
footage,
flesh, and he was flesh. He was like,
dude.
I just need one,
Crazy, man.
but then he kept on like just running away, and it's hard for me
Yeah.
to catch up.
Hmm.
And one thing people have been doing, they've been because now on the new map they've also added animals onto it, right?
Oh no.
And they've added spiders,
Hmm.
right? And thing is about me, right? I'm gonna expose myself. You
You're
already know
putting yourself
this,
out there.
but
You're
I'm putting
putting
myself
yourself
out
out
there,
there.
right? I don't like
Yeah.
spiders. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't care for spiders. So the fact that they've added spiders on the new map, I'm not a big fan of that,
Yeah.
honestly, because
Hmm.
sometimes when you're fighting a squad, what they do, like, okay, what I usually do also as well, I shoot the eggs because for you to release the spiders, there's certain areas that you have to go to and then shoot the eggs which contain the spiders, and then they come out and start attacking whoever's around them.
Yeah.
So that people have been employing such tactics, during fights, which I guess makes fights a bit more fun and creative.
It's not fun.
But for me,
Dude,
it's not
spiders.
fun.
Dude, spiders.
Those things are
How hell?
huge. No, firstly, those things are huge. So, firstly, I'm scared of looking at my screen in the first place. So I don't know how am I supposed to fight them. And having friends like certain friends that we're playing with, they shoot down these spiders on purpose,
Yeah.
just for
Just, dude.
bands, just for
Dude.
banter.
Nah,
But
but the prowlers are honestly a problem, dude.
yeah,
They can break doors, chase after you, climb on top of buildings. Those guys will not rest until you're
until they
dead.
catch you.
Dude.
But honestly, I feel like there's also a good balance. So like these animals are all over the place. There's obviously certain areas that you have to go to find find these animals. So I feel
But
like there's a balance as well
but
in that aspect.
that being said, putting
Mhm.
them next to respawn beacons wasn't the best idea.
I love they did. I love the fact that they did that for.
Nah, dude. No, no,
It
no,
makes
no.
it a bit more interesting. Like I
It's
said,
not interesting, man.
this map is interesting.
You get revived and you start fighting prowlers. What are you gonna do? You have no weapon, man.
But yeah, oh, shout outs to the sound designers there at Respawn. Because like when you hear the animals, like like when you're
Nah,
going
man, you
past by
get
the
scared,
nest,
dude.
the spider's nests, you can hear them in their eggs, busy crawling, and it just makes your skin crawl. It's like
That's
it's a very
disgusting, man.
uncomfortable
That's
thing.
disgusting.
It's disgusting and also not comfortable. So shout out to
Yeah,
whoever's who are the sound designers there at Respawn. It's
yeah.
pretty dope. But yeah, besides the animals, another thing about the map is that they've introduced these things called gravity cannons, which are pretty fun. I enjoy
Those
them,
things are
honestly.
fun. I remember the first time you used them, you're like, wee.
Yeah, I was just like using them all over. Or I was just
Yeah,
jumping into the map just to use the gravity cannons, because they're fun.
it really is fun. But you'd find that one guy
Mm.
who will laser you
Yeah,
while
who's
using a
camping? Yeah,
he
because
will laser you while using a gravity cannon. He's like, why?
yeah, because
How?
yeah, because in this map you don't have what's this jump? What are they called again? not jump pads.
Jump towers.
Jump towers. Yeah, you don't have the jump towers, right? Jump towers were cool because you can like kind of choose whatever direction you can choose the place where you want to land to. You can choose like your trajectory,
Actually,
but
yeah.
then with these gravity cannons, it's only one trajectory, and people can like they can pick out where you're gonna land. So you find people camping at those landing spots,
Dude.
right? Which sucks.
The
But
amount of times I used one and all of a sudden there's a squad in front of me.
and you
I
can't
just
run away unless
no,
you're a
dude.
loba. Unless you're a loba, then you can throw your bracelet while you're in the air to change your landing
I
spot.
mean, there's that, but once you get onto the land, that spot, yeah, and you see the team, you just turn around and use the gravity cannon in the opposite direction.
But then you find another squad there who was chasing you, and then you're like,
Of
you
course I
know.
do now.
But yeah, overall the map is pretty nice. I like it. I enjoy
It's
it.
enjoyable.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. One
But
thing,
the pass, man.
the battle
The
pass. Yeah, I was
pass.
about to say though. The legend is cool. The map is cool, but the battle pass is
Oh
dog.
my days! It is so underwhelming, so mediocre, so subpar.
Like there's
I
nothing
felt like
I'm looking forward to in the battle pass. Honestly,
like quite literally, if you bought the battle pass, it's because you completed last season's battle pass and just using your coins to buy the battle pass again.
yeah,
That's
that's
quite
why.
literally all you're doing. Yeah.
If you're gonna take out extra money,
Ah.
I might want to relax, my man.
Hey.
You must relax. Save
It's,
that
it's,
money.
it's nothing. It's
Mm.
nothing that you're missing out on nothing basically.
Unless if you want
The
to get that cool prowler at the end, the prowler
yeah,
SMG.
well,
at the end.
actually, I have mixed feelings towards the Prowler. Like that like the skin specifically, I have mixed feeling towards
Okay.
them. So
But you don't like it.
it's nothing too great. So
I see why you wouldn't like it. Personally, I like it and I want to get it, so I'm going to get the battle pass nonetheless. Because I mean, there's nothing else I'm going to spend my coins on besides the battle
Fair
pass,
enough.
so I might
Fair
as well
enough.
just get it for myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, Apex Legends Season 11 has been a good season so far. There haven't been any
Any
issues.
server issues.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So
Respawn.
shout out to Respawn for that.
Thank
You know, people
Yeah.
are already crying for nerfs here and there, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens. You know, yeah, I feel like that's just like season 11 in a nutshell.
That's even never in a nutshell.
But the only way you guys will get to play it is obviously if you download the game and then play it yourself. You know.
Yeah.
Another game I'm excited for, which is coming out soon. And it was delayed. GTA, the definitive edition. We've been talking about it like almost every week now.
Yeah.
But apparently, yeah.
No, we were just touching on it a bit, and we had the whole episode on it. But
Yeah.
you were saying?
I was just saying like it was delayed, so whenever it gets released, I'm ready. I'm ready to get my game on in GTA.
I'm finna play me some GTA, man.
And the great news for those people who have the Xbox Pass out here, GTA San Andreas has been rumored to come to the Xbox Game Pass. Right. So if you have the Game Pass, you can play GTA San Andreas, the definitive edition.
The definitive remastered edition.
Yeah, but nothing has been said about the other two, which is Vice City and 3. So hopefully they eventually also get added into it. So while I'm waiting for them to get added onto the Game Pass, I'll be playing San Andreas, on the side.
Too. You and me, buddy. You and me.
And I can't wait. And as soon as it drops, and after we get to play it, we'll also talk about our experiences here, because they did promise a bunch of graphical improvements as well as gameplay improvements as well. So I'm looking forward to that. And I just want to play.
I mean, everyone that wants to play San Andreas is definitely looking towards the improvements that Rockstar spoke about. I mean, they've been it's been in the workings for a long time. I feel like they couldn't have just left the games as they were. But let me not digress too much. I'm gonna speak more about this than I should. So yeah,
Dave. But yeah, I'm shout out to Rockstar for adding it to the Game Pass, because it was rumored initially that these games are only going to be available on Rockstar's platform, which I was like, so I'll have to buy it full price.
What about us?
What about me, dog? What about us? But another game which also is on the Game Pass, Forza Horizon
Horizon
5.
5.
I haven't played it yet, but it's installing as we speak. It's downloading and installing. So in the next episode, we are definitely going to talk about our first impressions of Forza Horizon 5. I mean, we hyped up this game a couple of episodes ago as well. So it's
I
finally
guess I
out.
better get it downloading then.
Hey, you must, bro. Hey, we gotta put in that work. We gotta put in
I
that
just need
work.
space though. Just need space. You know,
Yeah, 100 gigs.
that's 101 gigs there.
But I mean, compared to Horizon 4, it's pretty much the same amount of space that
basically, yeah.
So I'm just gonna uninstall Horizon 4 and come in with the new. So you better install, or else you're gonna be playing Horizon 4 alone, bro. But yeah, so yeah, I guess I'm gonna get back to installing my Horizon 5, and I think we're gonna call today's episode a wrap.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to downloading Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah.
And yes,
Yeah, so
we have
shout out.
come to the end of the episode. I'm sorry for cutting you off again.
Oh, no problem. Yeah.
We have you finish your shout out and I'll continue.
Okay. Oh yeah, so yeah, and I was about to say shout out to all of y'all who have made it to the end of this episode. Thank you for the support. I mean, this episode is delayed, and we're sorry about that. Load shedding and there's been a lot that's happening lately. But yeah, we'll make sure that we keep, our schedule, in order for the next for the next episodes. But shout out to y'all who have made it to the end of the video. Like I said, leave a like, share this episode with your friends. Comment, engage with us, subscribe,
enable the post notification bell,
everything,
do all that jazz.
Help us with the algorithm, people.
Yeah.
Spread the word, spread the love and everything. And yeah, I think this is that was my shout out, so I guess you can continue with yours.
This has been Jude.
And this has been Perfect.
And we are signing out.
Cheers.
Still don't have a closer.
Yeah, we don't have a closer. But wait, no,
before the 10th episode.
Yeah, before the 10th episode, right? But wait, I think we said something cool in the last episode, which I said.
Yeah, we did. We could have used that as the closer.
I forgot what it was, but yeah. I'll rewatch that episode and get it, and it was the next episode. But for now, this is me and Jude signing out, and we'll catch you, ladies and gents, in the next episode. So cheers, ladies and gents.